Welcome to the Relationship Goals podcast. We're your co-hosts, Melly.
And BJ.
And today we have a special guest. Why don't you do the honors, babe?
Las Vegas finest. Hailing from the land of K-pop stars, my little brother, Bon Terrence Malimba.
What's good? Yo.
Welcome, Terrence. You're our first guest on this podcast.
Thank you for having me here on the number one hit podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
And again, if you guys don't know who Terrence is, that's BJ's brother. What's your age difference?
We're 5 years difference. I'm the older one.
Yeah, he's the older one. And the handsome one, too.
No.
I'm just a better dancer.
Oh, yeah. He definitely has that on him.
All jokes aside, he's the younger one.
I'm the bunso.
Yeah, Team Bunso over here.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself, Terrence. Like, where did you go to school? What is your current job?
So I went to school at UNLV, majoring in mechanical engineering. I was supposed to do petroleum, but UNLV didn't offer petroleum. So I just ended up with a mechanical. Then currently I'm working in South Korea in a army base, working as a quality control manager / project engineer for a project out here.
That's so many titles.
Oh, no, just two for now.
Yeah, and engineering is not one of the easy majors.
I low-key played just Tetris in the library for the most part. I didn't really study.
Oh, so it just came naturally to you.
Oh, not really. If you saw my GPA, it'll be a different story.
How did you end up in Korea?
This is a funny story. I was supposed to end up in Guam to work for one of my ninongs initially, getting out of college. Thankfully, my dad, one of his assistants in his old job, got fired, so they replaced him with me. So that's how I got it.
Nice
for the most
connections.
Part. Yeah, thank God for dad.
So how was that like moving away from Vegas from like your family and friends?
I mean, initially I was okay with it because when I saw the offer letter, like, oh, this is a decent amount of money. Because initially, when I was supposed to go to Guam, I was gonna get paid $10 an hour. I was like, oh damn. After
Only
going through
$10?
5 years of college, after going 5 years of college, $10 an hour, that's pretty rough. But initially, it was hard at first because I'm away from YouTube. But you keep the main thing the main thing.
It was also COVID right when you moved too, like the pandemic
Yeah,
just started to happen.
so that sucked for me initially because when we're out here, we had to go because I naturally work 12 hours a week, 12 hours days, 5 days a week. So when COVID struck, we had to get escorting on base, and that's like 15-hour days because we had 2 hours of travel time getting into base, and we couldn't leave the site.
Yeah, that's a lot to kind of have.
Yeah, I couldn't go out too, so we had a curfew.
Yeah, it's like being stuck in just in your room, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
So what's it like living abroad in Korea? Obviously it's for work, but give us a little insight on living there.
So tax free, that's the main thing for me because the tax you guys are paying is going to me for the most part. So
Thanks,
thank you guys for your services. Thank you guys for your services. And food here is different. McDonald's is different. I love McDonald's. They have a signature burger out here called the Big Mac. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Korean original.
What makes it Korean?
The way they make it, fresh meat, not the processed stuff.
And what's cool in Korea versus America besides McDonald's? I mean, we just went to Korea to visit you for a day. We had a layover there a few months ago, and it was really nice.
I mean, it's very different style of living because in America, you get to drive around. Here is like, because I've never been to the East Coast. I heard it's like similar to the East Coast where it's like subways, trains, taxi everywhere. Also, the girls are pretty cute out here. Ain't gonna lie. What you guys see on Blackpink, I have in real life.
What else are other differences like living in Korea versus America or even like Guam?
I mean, language barrier for the most part, but most people think I'm Korean out here. I think it was more of a struggle for me when I moved from Guam to Vegas initially. It's more familiar for me to move to a different place now.
How's the weather there?
It's pretty humid and hot. It's like 90 degrees, but like once I get out of the shower, I'm sweating already. It's like Guam weather, if you remember when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but air quality is way worse out here.
How are you cleaning over there? Because
Oh, shout out to my cleaning lady out here. I pay her 60,000 won a day or a week, and she cleans my room completely. It smells like fabuloso when I come back in. She sometimes needs food from me.
Oh,
You know, I have
wow.
like multiple girls offering to be my cleaning lady. I'm like, no, I can't give up this one. she's with me. She's with me to the end of the contract.
So today we're going to be talking about Terrence's journey to being the man he is now, and obviously having the great career he's pursuing and excelling in. Let's talk about growing up, Terrence, kind of like being the younger brother, with us having such a tremendous father as a role model. Yeah, just talk about that.
I mean, I have two great role models in my life. Is my dad and BJ. Honestly, I always get compared to them no matter what because I'm the youngest. You know, because they set such a gold standard for men, what a man should be. I always believe that compares to the thief of joy. Like the only person I should be comparing myself to is my past self. You know, what my present self can make my future self better. At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I really agree with you because I'm the same way where I try not to compare myself to anyone, because like growing up, me and you, we had other family members who kind of would compare us.
Yeah, I heard
Either
your podcast from last week. I low key teared up.
me and you always wanted to do our own thing, even though you did follow like dad and becoming an engineer, but you did it in your own path, which I'm very proud of you of. And then I like what you said, of comparison is a thief of joy, because I feel like everyone is always comparing themselves to something or someone, but at the end of the day, you're absolutely right where you should just be comparing yourself to yourself, using your past and being able to utilize that to be a better person in the future. And then hopefully being someone that someone else can kind of learn from. Not necessarily compare, but learn from. Like, even though you're my little brother, I learn a lot from you, and I'm very proud of you.
Appreciate that.
In the simplest way for everyone who's not an engineer, what about this career path do you like the best?
I like problem solving at the most. I keep it plain and simple. I like problem solving.
So our dad is an engineer. He is a civil engineer, which definitely played a big influence into why Terrence is an engineer. Can you talk about that, kind of like his motivation for you? Because I know he was a father. Wait, he was definitely a very supportive father, and he wasn't very pushy to me about what I wanted to do. But I felt like he always knew you were going to be a great engineer. Like, he could see it from a young age. I remember he would talk to me about you, with how good you were in math, even though you didn't speak till you were like 6, but you're really good at math and things like that. So I knew he knew you would be one eventually.
I mean, like one story that I have with dad that like I knew that he always had my back no matter what was like during when I was going to UNLV, there was like one semester where I hella flunked. My grades were piss poor. Like it was like 1.9, I believe, or something below. It was below 2.0. And I was like, in my head, I was like, damn, I'm a failure to family name, you know. I was like, damn, like what can I do to atone for the sin or atone for my mistakes, yeah. But to atone for my mistakes, you know, I was thinking about going back to Guam and just going to UOG to finish it out. Then I was talking to dad. Like I think this was during like a graduation. I think a fall graduation. I was in a Tropicana parking garage. I was calling dad and I was like, "Yo, I messed up. Yeah, I know you saw my report card saying, yeah, I messed up. I can go back to Guam and stuff." And he was like, "Hey, I didn't go to Afghanistan, or I didn't." So like he was working in Afghanistan at that time, and he was telling me like, "I didn't come all the way to Afghanistan just to see you fail. You know what I mean? I'm always here for you no matter what. You know, I don't want to see you like falter, take two steps back on what you want to be. You know, I'm always here for you no matter what. Like I'm not just a father figure to you. I'm like your best friend." And that made me tear up for a bit. And I'm like, damn, this guy always like, even though I know BJ, like how dad is, he way he teaches us is like very, he had to look like 5 years down the line and look back and like, oh, that's what he meant at that moment, at that given moment, you know.
Yeah, he was always one to like lead by example by the life he
Yeah.
lived, So yeah, definitely being an adult now, and especially kind of like in this part of our life, yeah, I definitely agree with you for sure.
So yeah, that's why I'm like I respect him so much, even though he left me so much papers when because we were moving to a new office, and Dad left me all this like QC stuff. Holy crap, bro! That was a lot of that was a lot of paperwork. You thought I was a hoarder? Bonifacio Malimba is a fucking hoarder.
Did your dad influence you to be an engineer, or was that something that you decided on your own?
So when I was young, I always wanted to be a Pokemon master.
Oh my god.
This is true. This is true.
So I want to raise the mud kit and make it a Swampert and beat Steven, the Elite Four champion. But yeah, I always want to be an engineer from the get go. I was always good with math, so yeah, that's the only thing that was I thought at a young age that was engineering was inclusive with math. So put one and one together.
How did you know what engineering was as a kid?
I was very smart, Melissa. I was
He went to a Catholic school. Your boy knew his mathematics and his Our Fathers. Let's talk about like what motivates you. Me and you are very alike, so in my head I kind of know what you're gonna say. But why don't you tell our listeners what motivates you?
what motivated me to work hard is like the way that Dad worked hard for us, for me and you, to provide us the future that we have right now, or to provide the life that we have right now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like, what made me work so hard, like what made me happy, first ever big purchase was buying Dad and Mom their dream car. You know, like it made me tear up seeing their reaction on like I'm willing to give this X amount of money for a dream car. They didn't have to ask. I told them like, yeah, I'll buy your car for retirement. My boss told me I always have like I'm not hesitant in working. I'm always willing to work no matter what. Always hardworking, because I always have the mentality like to chip on like having that rookie mentality where like I know I'm in the position right now where most people want to be. So I always had the mentality that there's 100 people behind, like underneath me, that wants my position no matter what. So that drives me to work harder no matter what. Because complacency is like the number one killer in society today. You know, people are very complacent where they at in life. I'm proud, but never satisfied with where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel the same way. My boss actually has a saying where like a lot of us in my company always happy but never satisfied. So kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like trying to continue to get better and work hard. I feel like definitely me and you get that from our dad
Our dad,
because
to be honest.
yeah, for sure there are a lot of times where I kind of overwork too, and I try to have to control that.
So like I learned from someone special to me that told me because I told her all the time. I talk to her every day, telling her that like I work. She tells me like you're like so busy, then like you should sometimes take a break. And I'm like, damn, I took that like to heart. That sometimes I do need to take a break. You know, sometimes you can be overworked. Like even though you're so hardworking, you can be overworked. So you sometimes you need to take a step back and to like enjoy life for what it is. You
Yeah,
know.
get that PS5, play Final Fantasy. Yeah, treat yourself.
Diablo now. I'm 88, level 88.
Uh,
Who's trying to run nightmares right now?
So that's your overall motivation, but what's your motivation in your career path? Like,
So right now, my goal right now, always keep my goals simple. Like I always have milestones. I never like view my end goal until I'm there or until I'm 6 feet under. Some right now, I just want to get the project done by any means that necessary. To be honest, for this project necessary, like it asks a lot for me because I got to work on field and do paperwork because I'm the one that's negotiating. I'm the one that's checking what's the work quality. I'm the one that providing our subcontract work. And what motivates me, because in 5 years from now, I want to be the project manager. I want to be the one that runs the show. But what motivates me too is that like other people that I used to work with, like they see the potential in me and like what I can provide, like what I bring to the table. They're like, don't forget about me. Like when you become project manager, I'm always here for you no matter what. So that what motivates me that other people recognizes that I'm doing good.
all I want to say is I know you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I'm extremely proud of you as your older brother, and you're just seeing how much you've maturated and grown. I think both of us have grown and matured a lot since being the young, reckless kids from Guam. So I'm
I,
really proud of you.
and we still do that shit though. We're still menace to society. We're still menace to
Yeah, but
society, but
we give back a
we
lot
come
though
a, we
too.
come a, yeah, we come a long way.
Yeah, we still give back a lot.
Yeah, I still have my fun. I can still drink as I'm 21. I think ain't gonna lie, I blacked out like the last few weekends.
I mean, you're young, you're having fun.
No, my hips out of place, Melissa. I'm getting greater.
Can you explain your view of success to us?
So my view on success is simple, to be honest. Like most people view success as being social, like high social standard, wealth, occupation, or relationships. But my view in success is, leaving this world better than I found it. If I were to end up dead within the next hour or the next day, but if I were to end up at heaven's doorsteps or hell's gates, I can honestly say with my chest up high that I'm successful. Because I know I lived a happy life. I did whatever I can to be the man I am today. Not anymore than an ignorant kid from Guam. I have some brains on me now, some experience.
I want to add
Keeping
one
the
thing.
main thing the main thing.
Yeah, I want to add one
Yeah,
thing. So this is like something that made me very proud. So both me and my brother Terrence are part of a fraternity, and then I know when he was in, obviously I was in the fraternity first, and then when he was joining, everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, that's BJ's brother. That's BJ's brother," and then after he finished and then was a part of it, he started being the legend that he is. And I remember I was coming back to school. I don't know where I was. Then I met these younger fraternity brothers, and then one of them was like, he like asked me who my name, and then I told him my name, and he was like, "Oh, you're Terrence's brother." And in my head, I'm like, "Oh, that's one of my happiest moments, getting called your brother." Because
I appreciate it.
I know for the longest time you always were called BJ's brother, so I was very proud that he called me Terrence's brother.
Keep the main thing the main thing. I had a purpose before other people had their opinions. Mic drop.
Is that Jalen?
So do you have any like plans of coming back to America, or what's gonna happen
I
with you
mean,
down there?
for sure, I want to. At the end goal, once I have a family, I want to settle down somewhere in the West Coast, because I don't really like the city life in the East Coast. But as of right now, I'm just gonna try. The best opportunity for me to reach the project manager is to be overseas, and it's the most, I mean, best opportunity for money and such. So, but in the near future, like 10 years, 5 years from now, hopefully, I can settle down back in the states.
Do you have any like funny jokes from when we were growing up that you can remember? You remember more than I do.
I mean, it's very horrid before. BJ used to treat me like shit. You know,
That is true.
he ain't gonna lie. I thought Melissa was the most scariest person I know, because if she can control BJ, I'm like, damn, she must be real. Show me your ways. Show me.
But yeah, that's true. You used to like bully him. What made you change?
Just moving here,
You,
growing up.
Melissa. You, Melissa. I thank you so much.
You did help a lot, but when I moved
Melissa,
out here, I just
thank
missed
you,
Terrence,
Melissa.
and then
Thank you,
we
Melissa.
uh we reconciled when he joined our fraternity, and ever since then it's been good. We both matured. Like you said, it takes moving away from what you're comfortable with and just learning how to get better.
Okay, okay, go response.
And thank you, Melissa.
So that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, Terrence.
Thank you very much, my ading, which is little brother in Tagalog. Yeah, we really appreciate and love you, and me and Melissa are very proud of everything that you're doing, and we're going to continue to be here to have your back and support you.
Can send me that.
This is a cute little brother banter that was going on in this episode. And yeah, that was fun having our first guest on this podcast. Again, if you want to be a guest, reach out to us. Don't be shy, relationship goals podcast at gmail.com. You can find more on our social media platforms at relationship goals podcasts.
Why don't you close this out, Terrence?
Like and subscribe and holla at Melissa and BJ. Roll the outro, Melissa.